Hey everyone, welcome to the Fit Talk Diaries, where we take a dive into different fitness communities on TikTok. I am Juliana Riker, and today we're going to be jumping into a group that's infiltrated social media in recent years, the wellness community. If you have spent any time scrolling on TikTok recently, you've probably seen many videos ranging on the topics of healthy tips to live by, to weight loss strategies, to niche lifestyle wellness habits. But what is the main draw that has led these videos to gaining so much popularity? Are these communities actually a space for individuals to find useful wellness tips, or is it all just a facade for creators to gain more of a platform in this community? In this episode, we will dive right into these questions and unpack the true culture behind this community. We will talk about the influencers in this community, the trends they follow, and how the general culture of this community influences the way social media has started to portray overall wellness. Is this community actually as inclusive as it comes off? Follow along and let's see. An interesting aspect of this community is the way in which the majority of influencers tend to post their content in a similar fashion to one another. Many creators will make posts in a list-like fashion where they start the video with a clickbaited claim, usually saying things like, "Here are 3 tips I would follow if I wanted to lose weight," or "Here are 3 things I do every day to maintain a healthy lifestyle." If you have ever been on this side of TikTok and have seen posts within this community, you may have also noticed the positivity aspects surrounding the community. Many of the creators tend to have very nice and welcoming tones of communication when replying to comments from fans or individuals who are curious about learning more wellness tips. While this all may seem like the wellness community is an inclusive place that provides a close-knit support system for many individuals, it seems like there is an underlying aspect of exclusivity that viewers may not be aware of. Is the wellness community actually a welcoming and supportive community, or is there more to it than just what meets the eye? Today I will be interviewing my good friend Ben, who is a content creator and a part of the wellness community, to give us an insider view into the reality behind the community. Come on in, Ben. Thank you for joining us today, Ben. Would you please introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background into how long you have been a part of the wellness community and what specifically your role is in your community?
Sure, I would love to. Thank you for having me today. I'm so excited to be here. I basically have been posting content within the wellness community for about 2 years now, consistently on various social media platforms. I'm a part of the category of daily routines and promoting wellness habits. This means that I post a lot of day in my life content, as well as habits or wellness tips that I follow in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Wow, that is such a cool category that you work within. What initially made you interested in joining this community, Ben?
So basically, after the pandemic, I started to get really into my fitness through lifting and running and living the healthiest lifestyle that I could. To motivate myself, I would make TikToks on my workouts every single day and post them, primarily to keep track of my own progress without even thinking about possibly going viral. After consistently posting my workouts for almost 2 months straight, I remember one of my videos going viral, and this was what initially got my foot into the door within the wellness community, and I was so excited.
Wow, isn't that just so great that it just happened on a whim, and now you're here as a part of the community years later? Very cool. Now, changing gears here, I want to talk about the inclusivity aspect of the community and what your thoughts are on it. Since you've been a part of this community for a good amount of time now, I'm interested to hear your insight on what your initial thoughts were on it when joining, and if your thoughts have remained consistent or have changed since joining. Is there an underlying aspect of exclusivity in this community that outsiders may not know about? Let us know.
So, when I first joined the community, I was very unaware of the multitude of subcategories within it. I had never realized there could be so much content surrounding one seemingly small category, so initially from the start, I was very excited to be a new member in this community and actually getting recognized for something that I really loved to do. It seemed like such an ideal situation to be where I was, doing something that I loved, but also getting to help others reach their own personal goals as well. However, as I progressed in the quality of my content and gained more of a platform, this idealized world that I was living in started to shockingly become quite the opposite. And I will say that there is definitely an underlying aspect of exclusivity that viewers may not be aware of. The community initially came off as a very close-knit and supportive community where all content creators supported one another. However, many people don't talk about the standard of what the content creators must look like in order to be a creator in this community and in order to have a large platform. I have come across a multitude of instances in which women who are into wellness content will post videos almost identical to creators in the community and get a large amount of backlash just for not fitting the ideal standard of what society thinks wellness creators should fit into. While the community brands themselves as a very open and welcoming place for anyone to join, if you really take a closer look, it is characterized by all creators who seem to fit into this underlying standard of perfection.
Wow, very, very interesting. I've always found it so interesting that all of the wellness content I have come across seems to be of creators who all have similar physiques and post very standard content which lies consistent within the community. Could you give us some examples of instances you may have come across with this exclusivity aspect in the community, Ben?
Okay, yes, so I definitely can. The first instance that comes to mind is the what I eat in a day videos that you've probably seen. I mean, I guess just all of them in general. I've seen so many videos of standard wellness creators posting TikToks of what they eat in a day, and then on the other hand, I've seen so many videos of plus size creators posting and receiving a lot of backlash. For example, when the standard content creators post what they eat in a day, the majority of the comments are people who say things like, "You make me feel so comfortable eating," or just positive comments towards the creator in general. However, on the other hand, when I see plus size creators post the same kind of content, I've noticed the majority of the comments being things like, "You shouldn't be eating this much," or comments about losing weight in general, which just adds to the negativity. On a similar note, in reference to the what I eat in a day videos, I've seen some other videos of creators eating sugary foods or desserts in their video, and the comments will say, "Balance is key," or "I love to see the balance." However, when I see plus size creators posting content with any foods that are not standard healthy foods, the comments will say things like, "You should cut the sweets," or comments related to eating healthier, which is not supportive.
Wow, that is just so appalling to hear. It seems like this is an issue that just continues to be perpetuated throughout society due to the culture surrounding plus size content creators. I also feel like because they receive so much backlash, it has become so normalized for individuals to comment harsh things related to their body weight under their videos. I also feel like this is just something that you would only be aware of if you were in the community, and that speaks so much to how shunned away this issue has been on social media, especially considering that the wellness community has been so prevalent in recent years. You would think that there would be more attention surrounding this issue.
What I also think is a vital part of understanding this whole community that's on TikTok and other social media platforms is that what people are seeing on media platforms is what people are liking on the platforms, and what people are liking is what fits the wellness standards that have been created by the community the most. I think that this also creates a sort of exclusivity factor in the wellness community since the algorithm created basically shuns away plus size creators. I also think that creators who may not fit the idealized standards for wellness creators feel like they have to try to conform to these standards created by the community in order to feel fully accepted. This creates a sort of toxic environment, which makes new wellness creators feel not as welcome into the community and also not as willing to share their everyday progress within this specific community.
Wow, you bring on such interesting insight, Ben. I also feel like this is not only an issue that affects plus size creators in the community, but also people looking to join the community in general. Along with this, I also feel like this is such an issue with all of social media in general, especially nowadays that social media plays such a big factor in everyone's lives. I feel like this is such a pressing issue, especially nowadays, that social media perpetuates such an idealized version of life. I mean, are people actually waking up at 3 a.m. every day with perfectly straightened out hair and going on a 10-mile run after? But anyways, your insight is so interesting on this, and it's very interesting, especially coming from someone inside the community as well. Now, on to my last question for you. How do you think that your vision of the wellness community has changed over time, and do you think that it will get better or worse over time, considering that we are in such a huge digital age?
Yes, the things that people do for social media. How do people prop their camera to film them waking up while they are still asleep? It's very interesting that you bring up how social media will change over time. I think that since the media's creation, it has been a way for people across the world to connect and engage with each other, which has been great. This engagement is awesome for our world in general, but it has also led to some negative impacts that people don't always think about. I think that while this community has continued to grow with the expansion of social media, it has also only become more exclusive and has made people more critical of what they see online and in person. Through social media, you only see the best of everyone's day-to-day lives, And this takes people away from what life is truly about and the realities of life. This is especially prevalent in a community such as wellness, where people are sharing such raw parts of their lives with an extremely broad audience. The wellness community on social media is one that definitely takes pride in supporting and including anyone who feels that they are on their personal wellness journey. Due to the natural impacts of social media and how it's affected the world, it feels like this purpose may have been forgotten. While the wellness community was intended to be a positive place for people to connect over their wellness journeys, it has definitely become a place where people are held under strict scrutiny and forced to uphold an unrealistic standard. I've come to learn this over my time being involved, and it has definitely made me change my outlook on how I view the community now compared to when I first started, which is definitely unfortunate.
Wow, while that is truly an unfortunate aspect of the community, I'm glad you have been able to learn about this and come to find your way in this community. I hope that looking forward into the future, we are able to move into a more inclusive and accepting society as a whole on social media platforms and in communities in general. But alas, time will only tell. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ben. I've really appreciated all the insight you have provided us with and the time you took to join us. Thank you also to everyone who tuned in today to listen, and we hope you join us again next time.